Solve the rational function inequality and write the solution in interval notation. Given the function Rx, which is r of x, which is equal to x plus 7 over x plus 9, find the values of x that make the function less than or equal to 0. So what it's saying here is that we want to find out when r of x is going to be less than or equal to 0. So that means that we have x plus 7 over x plus 9, and that's going to be less than or equal to 0. So we know that we have one term on the left and a 0 on the right, so now we can determine what our critical points are. So in the numerator we have x plus 7 and we set that equal to 0. So therefore x is going to equal negative 7. In the denominator we have a restricted value. So we have x plus 9, which is equal to 0, and therefore x is going to equal negative 9. And so now what we have is we're going to create our regions. So we have 0, we have negative 9, and then negative 7. So now we're going to create our regions from those critical points. So region 1, region 2, and then region 3. Okay, now keep in mind that we have a less than or equal to. So at negative 9, this is a restricted value, so we cannot use a bracket. We have to use a parenthesis. So the first interval goes from negative infinity to parenthesis. So that's negative infinity to negative 9 with a parenthesis. And then at negative 9, we have a parenthesis, and then negative 7 is in a numerator, and it's less than or equal to, so we can use a bracket there. So that's negative 9 to negative 7 with a bracket, and then bracket negative 7 to positive infinity is the third interval. So now let's go ahead and choose a value from each region. So we can say that x can equal negative 10, and then we're going to plug it into x plus 7 over x plus 9, which is less than or equal to 0. So we have negative 10 plus 7 over negative 10 plus 9. So that's negative 3 over negative 1, and positive 3 is not less than or equal to 0, so it's false for region 1. If we take a look at region number 2, we can pick x to be negative 8. So using the rational inequality, we have negative 8 plus 7 over negative 8 plus 9. So that's negative 1 over positive 1. And negative 1 is less than 0, so we know it's true for region number 2. And then for region number 3, we can pick 0 for x, and then plug it into the inequality here. So we have 0 plus 7 over 0 plus 9, and 7/9 is a positive number, which is not less than or equal to 0. So from here, we can determine that region number 2 is true, and it is for that interval there. So therefore, the solution is parentheses negative 9, comma negative 7 with a